have 60 kids this year, and we definitely view all 60 fifth graders as our students. Okay, homeschool communication. We truly believe that communication is the key to a successful school year. We have the Friday folder. That's one form. Email is huge for us. Planners. We do planners differently, but I do the planners every day, and Christy does the planners
each Monday, like a calendar, so then I send it home with information for the week.
Remind.com is just like, don't forget the instrument for the concert, or something like that, really short. Yes, and then we have the code for Remind right here. It's actually on the next one too.
Okay.
Seesaw, I'm sure thumbs up for Seesaw that fourth grade teachers use Seesaw. Your login information for your child is going home in the Friday folder. We love Seesaw. I mean, it's just, you get to actually see your kids at work. I also use it for evaluation, where I'll take a video of me talking about a student's paper, and I only give it to that student and say, hey, this is what you need to work on to improve. And then only you and your child can see my feedback, and it's a great way, because I just don't have time to sit with 60 children and give them individual feedback on things. So I use Remind to do that. Seesaw to do that.
It's kind of a digital portfolio if you've never seen it before, so you'll get little videos and stuff. And something about the notifications.
Turn off the notifications, like it says, we'd like to notify you. You will get.
So don't allow.
Right, because don't allow notifications. A lot of times the kids will be presenting, and we'll present, we'll film it, and we'll let everyone see it. So all of the families get to see it. And every time that happens, your phone just blows up.
Yeah, so if you have the app on there, just go there and look there. Don't allow the notifications. It'll drive you crazy.
Google Classroom is a digital classroom that your children have access to at home. They have the login information, and so like if they're absent, well, what did you do? Log into Google Classroom and you can see the assignments there.
If it's posted.
If it's posted, but they're getting there.
Mm-hmm.
Reflections, you notice the reflections coming home on Friday. That's a great way to see what's going on in your child's life. And we truly believe that communication is a two-way street. I prefer you not to call the classroom. I am typically with children, and I don't get on the phone when kids are.
And my phone's in the back room. I don't really see it.
Yes, and at the end of the year, I go back and see what messages were left. So so really just use one of the other forms of communication. I look at the planners every day. So if you have a note, just put it in there.
Or if there's an emergency or something, call Karen. She'll buzz up
Yes.
to the classroom with a note. That works really well.
Right. And again, for any parents that are missing this I'm going to be sending home this to in the Friday folder to remind you to join Remind. Attendance is huge, and this is funny, but we kind of mean it when parents are like, hey, are you doing anything Monday? Yeah.
Can I take my kid?
Yeah, we're gonna be out.
Special?
Yeah, we're actually have from 8:30 to 3:30 planned, and it's really jam-packed. So we are doing something. That being said, sometimes you have to miss, and it's just a little bit more difficult for kids because they're not in control of their day. When I'm out, I can write my sub-plans, I can have control of my environment, I know what I'm gonna do, how to make up. Kids don't often have that, but when they come back, that's when we try to get them caught up. Some families will be so thoughtful and say, hey, can I have a packet of work? It's like, if I go to Hawaii, I don't want a packet of work. If you're going on vacation, if you have a family reunion, disconnect and be present in that moment. And when you come back, we'll figure it out. Although, from April to the end of May, or April to the end of the school year, I would suggest not being out between all the testing that goes on and our overnight trip and all the special fifth grade activities. It's just jam-packed. If you have dentist appointments, orthodontists after 3 o'clock, our days from after mid-April on are just crazy busy. They're all busy though. We have a workshop model. What we do is in the classroom. It's not like when we went to school. When I went to school, you probably you all probably had a workshop model. But the content, the discussion, everything is in class. It's not like I can Xerox a page or say, read page 42 to 67 and answer the questions at the end of the book. We don't do that. And so that's, it is what it is. Students should check Google Classrooms for missed content. And just remember, and I tried to explain that to the kids today, we do start early. the bell rings at 8:25.
For fifth graders.
For fifth graders only, and then they have a 5-minute longer recess than the rest of the kids. So they make up that. So they really do need to be here, putting their things away, so that at 8:30 they're in the gym, or they're in band, or they're in orchestra. Run for Longfellow's coming up. We have a pep rally in the morning, and we'd love to have everyone there. And then the run day is October 5th. Everyone's invited to please just join the party. Artworks, if you are unfamiliar with Artworks, it's a huge part of our Bozeman community, our Longfellow community. And if you're new to our school and you have a question about, give me more information on Artworks, just jot it on one of these note cards and we'll get in touch with you on that. Fifth grade is a very different year. The district realizes that this is your last year as an elementary school kid, and they're going to pool 8 schools into 2 middle schools. So they've designed different ways of getting this new class of kids together. In October 5th, same day as the Run for Longfellow, we have the opera. So all 5th graders go to the Wilson, and that's like the first time the class of
They don't
2000
interact, but they get to see each other.
Yeah, it's not, and it's really not an opera. It's like, what is an opera? Oh, it's so, but whatever. It's
Way more interesting
it's a
than mine.
traditional thing. I got to remember, we're being filmed for parents that aren't here. But anyhow, so that's one thing that's special about fifth grade. There is a music festival for 5th graders where the entire community gets together. MSU sends down people who know how to play instruments, and the kids get specialized instruction, and then there's a whole 5th grade band and orchestra concert at the high school. It's really amazing. There is a field day all for 5th grade. They bring every 5th grader in the district together. So they really go out of their way to bring these 5th graders to start meeting each other now, okay? So mark your calendar, that's a big time too. Your turn.
My turn. So some of the 5th grade policies we just wanted to run over with you. So for birthday celebrations in the past, I don't know if how many classrooms are doing this anymore, but treats were brought and stuff, and we don't do that anymore. Allergies, different things. So we do what we call a Wordle. It's a word cloud, and your child's name's at the center, and then all the kids write words about them, and they make this big, make a little word cloud for them, and then we frame them, and that's their birthday present. So it not only helps us with adjectives and talking about words about other people and thinking about being kind and what would you say about people, it makes a really nice little birthday present. Water bottles, we totally encourage kids to bring their water bottles. They need to have a lid though that pops up and you can drink out of it, not open it all the way up because those spill. I'm not kidding, every time. So if you can make sure they have a water bottle that they can drink out of that they don't have to take the whole lid off of. And we usually keep them like to the side.
Because we have computers out.
Yeah, and paper. I mean, the minute they dump it on a table, they've ruined a lot of paper. So we keep them to the side, but they are, please, encouraged to drink. We know they need water for those brains. Class shirts. We have teacher shirts that have our names and our theme for the year.
Yeah.
And our theme for this year was we're all made of stars, and so we're talking about stars and space, and our books are kind of centered around that. So we would like each kid to have a shirt as well. We're going to put the saying on the back, and we'll send out an order form to you. The shirts will be under 15. We don't know exactly, maybe 10. And if that's a hardship for anybody, please let us know right away because we will take care of that. The school will help with that. But we'd like all the kids to wear their purple shirts with us.
To all these,
To different
together.
events or even
Field
Fridays or whatever. Then she talked, band and orchestra, the practice. So we would love for your kids, and they'll tell them that over and over, band and orchestra, to practice. And we've talked about growth mindset. You can't just think you want to be a good trumpet player. You have to practice and show the action. So we're encouraging them, and hopefully the growth mindset is in their heads, and they're thinking it's not going to happen by itself. So please encourage them to practice, and I think they do stuff with recording their practice and stuff.
And both the band and orchestra teacher have said that kids can come in after 8 o'clock, before 8:25, and they will give them some extra
They're there.
instruction on
And a lot of kids took them up on that last year. It was pretty neat.
Right, and the kids who have really big instruments, I'm not sure what the plan is, but the band and orchestra teachers would be able to help you with, like, bass. I don't know. That thing is huge. I don't want it in my room.
And then,
Is that every day,
Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Tuesdays and Thursdays, and they bring their instrument that day and they take them home that night, so they're practicing, and other than that, I'm not sure, but like a lot of the bigger instruments are left in the gym, but we send them down to get their instruments before they leave the building.
Yeah, your child should be bringing their instrument home, unless it's the percussion kids. I'm not sure what they do with the really large stuff.
Yeah, that's nice. Boots and shoes. A lot of kids have gym shoes, as long as they're wearing shoes that do not leave mud in the gym, because that is really hard for Mr. Carpenter. So that's why a lot of kids have gym shoes here. I remember when my kids were in 5th grade, they never really used those shoes very well. But they're there to make sure that the gym doesn't get all messy and he doesn't have to struggle with that all day long.
And for me, when it's snow time, there'll be mats out in the hallway, and the boots stay in the hallway on the mats because they melt, and it's a hazard with slippery cement.
And I have lockers and kind of ones in the back as well, and that's where the kids put their stuff. So, you know, for boots and shoes. We love the mechanical pencils, many reasons. The pencils don't dull, their writing looks way better, and it just makes them a little more responsible too. And we've labeled them, most of them, and the kids are being responsible for them. And thank you for sending so many pencils and refills. I think we're good. And if anybody needs practice with them, we'll let you know. But this group's been great.
They have. Some of them didn't have pencil bags because they go back and forth between our classes and they travel with their pencil bag. So we bought some, but they were super cheap. And don't be surprised if your child needs a new pencil bag because they were.
But the mechanical pencils, just, you know, just the whole handwriting, and then also no all day. Oh, that was a very big relief for me. And, you know, it's a special, wonderful year.
I mean, for some of you, this is the last back to school night at Longfellow. This is like a moving on year. And one day they'll want to hold a teddy bear, and the other one they're like, I can go to mom by myself. So, I mean, it is a real transitional year, and we get that.
So conferences are October 8th and 9th, and they're from 11 o'clock through the evening. So we don't have to work in the morning. We come in at 11, but you know, we're always here. So the conference times are like that, so we can meet the needs of many different times of day. And we have 2 days for conferences, and they are a goal setting and relationship building conference. So when you come in, we'll have some scores that, you know, we take with a grain of salt often, but we'll have those scores, we'll have some more idea of your kids' work by the time the conferences happen, and then we'll sit and talk about what do you want for your child, what do you want their goals to be, and obviously what the child wants their goals to be. And so it'll be a team effort to write about what we want to see happen with your student, with your child. And then your child, please, will come to the fall and the spring conferences. Okay, it's just really nice because this is about them. It's about what they're learning, what their goals are, and how we support them. And it's really important for them to see that teamwork between us and you. And they know we're all looking at what they wanted to do and how we can support them to get to their goals.
Good.
So we need you. We need volunteers. Volunteers and chaperones are super important. We have lots of things that we do throughout the year, and we'd love you to be able to go with us. Background checks are a must if you're with us, and anytime you might be, you know, privately with a child, or riding a chairlift with a child, or anything, we just have to make sure you all have background checks. It's very simple to do. You can ask Miss Karen in the office, and she'll set you up with it. If you did it last year, it's good to this year. So it's 2 years that it's good for. Some of the things we're going to do, there's a wetlands field trip coming up on September 27th. It's a water field trip really to kind of culminate the wetlands that they've done since kindergarten. We'll be going to the water treatment plant up here off Sourdough, and then we go to Bogart Park, have lunch and play, and then we go to the other end to the wastewater treatment plant, and we get to see the whole
water cycle.
Kind of the cycle of what happens, and the kids hear how that goes through the pipes and all this stuff, and then ends up down there. So, and one group does this way, and one group does that way. So it works out really well. Bohart Ranch, cross country. Is it Bohart? No, Crosscut.
Crosscut.
Oh, we forgot to change it. Sorry. Crosscut. Crosscut does a fabulous day. So if you can go with us, it's really fun. I have to go on a separate day than Patty goes. So the volunteers, we need kind of even more. But
true.
you go with a group and you ski all day and they teach them kind of Montana Outdoor Science kind of curriculum, but it's their own. They've developed their own. And it is just so much fun. And last year we got snowed on, my group, just snow. We were just wet.